Good evening. We're live. It's Thursday night. It's dead on 6 o'clock. Chaps, well done for all arriving on time. Feel like we've outdone ourselves this week. So to introduce everyone, this week I've got, I love the point, Will Baggs of Will and Mike. Will specialises in Crowthorne, Sandhurst and Finch Hampstead. Relative newbie, Steve, down on the south coast, looking after Hayling Island and Havant, around the Portsmouth area, the PO postcodes. And then in this corner, I can't tell you how difficult this is, so I expect some sort of applause on the comments. Thomas Dunn, in Swindon, where electricity hasn't been invented yet, so he's doing this live by candlelight.
Yes.
And battery on his laptop. And then he'll travel back to Berkshire to charge it up tomorrow. That's just a rumour. So thanks, chaps, for joining us. If you've read the running order and you're watching because there was something that picked you up there, we are going to start rather predictably from estate agents' point of view with house prices. Gents, Rightmove house price report. As we know, Rightmove, the biggest portal, biggest lister of properties in the UK. Rightmove have confirmed house prices in the last month have risen by 0.8%. So we were just discussing this off camera before we came on. Rightmove report their asking price data, not sold price data. So where does that put us? Now, Will, I'm going to start with you. I personally have been looking for a house in the Crowthorne area over the last month or so. So I've got my opinions on the Crowthorne market of why maybe house prices are increasing. What's your opinion? Are house prices increasing? Is that data accurate for your area? Is it too low? Is it higher than that? Is it higher than 0.8% increase? Or is it all just stats and lies?
I'd probably say, without knowing the stats, every case by case, we've probably seen asking prices start to creep up again. Obviously, at the end of last year, everybody got into panic and a lot of reductions happening. I'd say the market is probably slightly calmer now. What with, and we'll come on to this, obviously, mortgage rates starting to come down a little bit again. I'd say there are more first-time buyers sort of back in the market, and I'd probably say that as a result of that, there are people are starting to sort of push those prices back up. Having said that, and you might know this, looking in Crowthorne, with those increased prices come a lot of reductions as well. So I don't know how everybody else is finding that as well, but people are clearly trying it. But whether or not they're always right, I think is questionable.
That's the impression I'm getting. Is a wide gap has opened up in Crowthorne between different house types, and I'm interested to know, by the time that house actually goes under offer, whether that gap is anywhere near what the listing price was. Yeah. I've got my suspicions. People are listing on the bigger 4-bedroom detached houses in the region of £50,000 over market value in that area.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, at least. In fact, some of them I've seen are absolutely ridiculous. So, at least.
Tom, absolutely ridiculous or on the nose? Swindon, overpricing, a house price, asking prices increasing because of overpricing, or are values genuinely increasing?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're experiencing a huge amount of kind of overvaluing or an increase in prices at the moment. We have seen a lot of reductions, but I think there is still quite a big gap between buyers and sellers. We got property on and someone offered, I think it was 45 grand under asking price. So you can tell already what the buyers are starting to think, we're fed up now. We're not paying silly prices anymore. So we haven't really seen a massive rise in house prices over in the Swindon direction, if I'm honest. We've seen a lot of reductions. So I'd say back end of last year to beginning of this year, certainly a lot of people were overvaluing or even if it was market value, the buyers have just not been there, and a lot of them have reduced. But I wouldn't say I've seen a huge amount of asking prices going up, or prices in general being valued higher.
Steve, South Coast. I'll rephrase the question slightly just to throw you off the scent, because I know you prepared your answer now. Two people have had a go. Asking prices have increased by 0.8%. Is it just because house prices always go up in March?
I think some of it is down to agents pushing the market, where in the past, when you get something that's in demand and you have 10, 12 buyers on it, you can go confidently to the market and say, I have a buyer for your house, and they were fighting over this one, so they're prepared to pay a little bit more. Let's try this. Again, the agents talk the market up, they talk the market down. But generally, I think it's an even, steady market at the moment. I'm seeing as many price reductions as new instructions coming on, which is telling me that the people that were trying to sell in Q4 of last year are starting to be more realistic and come in tune with the market values.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If your house has been on the market for 10, 11 weeks, then that in itself is telling you a story of something needs to be done, whether it be marketing, whether it be a change, whether it be a change in your price. Something needs to be done. Maybe all of those things need to be done. Quite frankly, there was a long story on quite a few of our social channels about agents manufacturing price reductions earlier this week, and I'll let people find those stories for themselves rather than going into it on this episode. Right, 5 topics. I'm going to add one really, really quickly. Bank of England today. I'm going to just go straight into Uncle Dave, really. Bank of England today have raised interest rates by 0.25%. It's the 11th month in a row that Bank of England interest rates have risen. As a group, as a resounding yes or no, is that going to affect mortgage rates at all?
No.
No.
The banks are competing for our business at the moment. They don't make money unless they're lending money. They will always continue to compete with each other.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a bigger disparity between what the Bank of England are saying and what the banks are doing. Yeah. They just don't seem to care. We know on good authority that interest rates have gone up today, but tomorrow nationwide, one of the biggest lenders in the UK are reducing their rates.
There you go. Say no more.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't seem to matter. The banks seem to be regulating and working their own market, regardless of what the Bank of England are leading at. So, any mortgage brokers that are on there, I think Akil was on our socials earlier. Akil, if you're listening, give us a shout, give us an opinion. Right, springtime. It's pouring with rain where I am. Don't know about you guys. It was
it's not looking too much like spring at the moment, is it?
Not quite. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
Does everyone forget we live in Britain?
Next week, which is a brilliant thing for estate agents because it means evening viewings are back on. It's 10:06 now. It'd be 7:10 in a week's time, which means light evenings, which means more people can view your house, which means it's good time to sell. Gardens in spring. Over the winter, people take a peek through the French doors. As soon as April comes, there's a massive change. Now, let's give some tips to people who are selling properties with gardens. Will, what's your biggest tip for someone selling a property with a garden coming into April?
Like you say, people are going to be out and about looking at those gardens. I think that the top ones for me are take a look at your fence. Does it need a fresh coat of paint? Look at the grass. It's probably been rained on for the last 4 months. So does it need a cut? Those two things alone, are going to make a world of difference. Just make the garden look a bit tidier, rake up any leaves, etc., etc. And make sure there's if you can, and it's still not completely light, some sort of outdoor lighting is always nice as well.
So £100 spend, 50 quid on paint, 50 quid on a couple of lights is your tip to raise the interest on your property. What about you, Tom?
Pick up your dog poo. I think that goes
Pick up
without
your dog poo. Free. That's free. You're absolutely right.
You'll be surprised how many people just leave it there and just go, it's windy, it's wet, I don't want to even go out. Just go out with a coat on, pick it up. I think the leaves this time of year, especially where we are, especially in Hungerford at the moment, there's a lot of rubbish everywhere. So just rake it up, make it look tidy, spruce it up a little bit. I completely agree with Will.
Steve, your tip.
Take the winter coat off the garden in whatever form that takes, whether that be grass, fence, shrub borders, patios. You know, get the jet wash out. You've got a scum across the patio. If it's wet, they're going to be treading that in your house. So get your patio jet wash down, make it look bright, clean. It makes all the difference. That was my first job of any summer or any spring, was get the jet wash out, jet wash everything down, get it ready for the summer.
Steve, shout out to my wife. We sold our house 2 weeks ago. The weekend before the Monday viewing, she jet washed our patio in the rain to make it look brand new again. So,
yeah, it works.
Absolutely.
What's the point in spending all this money
it's not
on a
dirty,
beautiful
mossy green patio? It's suddenly a brand new sandstone. It makes the garden look loved, not knackered.
Exactly.
Frankly,
yeah, exactly.
Totally agree. So, fences, dog poo. It's 100%. It's a free one, and jet washing. But yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate that. It's down there, isn't it?
Exactly.
And jet washing. That's a Sunday's work, and it'll either mean people are more interested in your house, or it will get you more money from the person who is interested. There's a guarantee on that. So yeah, get your garden ready. If it's borderline sunny, get the garden furniture out as well. Show people that the space for a table, or you've got a big rattan set, get it all out, even if it's for 2 viewings. Right.
You love the property, because if you do the little jobs, when the big jobs come up, they've got confidence you've done those as well.
Couldn't agree more. Right, Tom, you're in the spotlight. Swindon's perfect house. Needed. What are we saying?
I'm saying that our perfect home, what we've got a lot of at the moment, what we're seeing is a lot of sort of 3-bed detached and semis coming to the market. What we need are a lot more 4-beds. What we certainly need we've got 4-bed semi on at the moment, and we've had quite a few people come around, look at it. It's not quite the right area, but they're looking more detached. There's not a great deal out there detached at the moment, so we need some more 4-bed family homes that are detached. That's probably the perfect home in Swindon at the moment. So we've got a lot of buyers for.
Traditional thing through spring, isn't it? January, February, all the small houses and small flats come on, sell. They have nowhere to go. Then the 3-beds come on, they sell. And then the 3-bed people who want a 4-bed have a panic, have a wobble because they can't find something. And then everything suddenly starts to go after Easter. So I guess that the call out, isn't it, Tom? The call out in Swindon is if you own a 4-bedroom detached house and you want to beat the rush of other 4-beds coming to the market, there's a lot of buyers waiting for you if you want to get in first.
We do. We literally released a video today on this one. Over in West Swindon, we got a buyer that kind of wants a specific area. So did a bit of a shout out for them in a certain location. We just need 4-bedroom homes at the moment.
Okay. You heard it here first. Right. We're moving counties. Will, the Sandhurst market review. What's happening down in the home of the tug of war? Well, I'll get that out in a minute. The home of the tug of war world champion. Are they still the tug of war world champions?
I guess they might be. Yeah, I'm not in the team. No,
okay.
Even though you wouldn't have guessed it, but
you could be. You look like you could be.
Yeah, you could be. I'll be right at the front. Yeah, market is good in Sandhurst. it's that sort of town where there's easy connections to, all the sort of M roads and everything else. The schools are generally good. There is a total of 117 properties on the market, all in all, at the moment. We touched on it earlier on, right at the beginning of this live, that we are seeing quite a lot of those come on. Quite a lot of those are falling into that trap of, coming on at one price and then reducing at another. But I think over the last few months, there's been an average of about 18 properties sell per month, as I say, probably over the last 3 months. So there's definitely demand there. It's a nice sort of family area to live, as ChatGPT will tell you. It's good as long as the prices are right.
So 117, I think you said. Is that
Currently,
up or down on last year? Where's the trend going? Is there more available for a buyer than there was, or?
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say that, given the madness of the first half of last year, there's more sort of sticking around, I would say, at the moment. Again, perhaps some people thinking that we still are where we were a year ago in terms of, the madness. Things are taking a little bit longer to sell. So yeah, I think 117 is quite a few houses, they're sitting there for sale. So if you're looking in Sandhurst, there's plenty of choice.
What's in demand in Sandhurst? What's the hottest? There's always a hot part of a market, isn't there? As Tom just said.
Yeah.
In demand is 4 beds, and there's very few of them. Are we looking at a similar thing in Sandhurst? Are we calling out the 4-bed owners to say now's your time, or is it something different?
Similar sort of thing. I'd say that the sort of three bedroom semi-detached houses are always popular. 4-bed detached houses are popular. And you start moving sort of 700 plus, perhaps, you get obviously bigger houses for that money, of course. But I'd say the ones that are really in demand and going the quickest at the moment, probably those 3-bedroom semis, 4-bed detached up to probably 600,000.
And if we're talking rentals, I've got that 3-bed semi with a garage coming on the market next week. If anyone's looking for a rental, hot tip, beat the portals, hashtag. We'll go into a few more of those, I think, towards the end of the chat. Steve,
Yes.
coming out of the winter and into the spring on the south coast, on the beach of Hayling Island, I imagine the market must be extremely different from winter to summer in Hayling Island. What's life like?
It's a typical island lifestyle. It's very relaxed. It's very chilled out. It's got a great community spirit. Everyone seems to know everyone else, or there are only 1 or 2 people detached from knowing that person. Lots of social events going on, lots of water sports. You've got the Royal British Legion. You've got lots of different clubs and social events that really do get engaged with by the community. So if you don't want to, you don't have to leave the island. There is everything that you need on the island, but it's connected so well on the M27 or on the A27 that Portsmouth and Chichester are just 10-15 minutes away. It's when you get to the edge of the island, of course. You've got to get off the island, which can become troublesome during the summer, or even getting onto it. Everyone wants to be by the beach. What can I say? It's a great life.
It wasn't that bad.
It can have its disadvantages, but when you're actually there, it's such a great community. Everyone's so friendly. I've received nothing but positivity down in Hayling Island from the people that I've met so far, and I've got some videos to do on some local businesses coming up as well. So, watch this space. Shop local.
So teach 3 mainlanders, is that what we're called? Up country suburbanites. How does the housing market change from the rain and darkness of the winter to the bright blue skies of spring and summer? If I've got a house to sell on Hayling Island, do I pull it off the market over the winter and wait for the sun to come out in 2
That's a
weeks?
difficult one, because you do get people wanting to have it done by the time the sun comes out, so they've got to start a lot earlier. Yes, you get a lot more tourism down on the island in the summer and spring months, but you also get the B&Bs, the Airbnbs, the hotels all getting booked out, so lots of people coming down. You know, it does have an effect on people, and I've known quite a few different people that have come down for a holiday and then ended up moving down, because I've lived along the Thames Valley, along the M4 corridor, and you're lucky if your neighbours even acknowledge you in the morning, let alone say hi. Where here you walk out of your door, and if someone's in vicinity, they're saying good morning, they're saying hi, how are you? They're engaging the way that good old fashioned Britain used to be, before everyone got too busy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, because no one buys a convertible car in the winter, do they?
No,
They wait.
no.
They only do it when the sun comes out. They only do it from June onwards, June to August. I wonder if that's the same on the south coast near the beach. Is the market lights up with out of town buyers?
I think it's the same as every market, in honesty. You'll get a natural uprising in the spring and summer. People always need to move, you know, and if they're planning their future, they know where they want to be. They may pick up a bit more of a bargain in the winter than they will in the summer, because there aren't as many buyers out there. But you think it's by the coast, so a lot of investors own properties on the island. You know, there's lots of holiday lets and lots of second homes. They're getting them ready for spring and summer to come down themselves. So they want to do that. They've got to prepare over the winter months to have it ready. Whether that's buying it or renovating it or titivating, it needs to be ready for spring.
Good stuff. So I mentioned it earlier. I dropped one of the properties that I was putting onto the market in the next 10 days or so, being something that is absolutely desperately needed from the rental perspective, which is a 3-bed semi in Sandhurst. So if you're looking for one of those, make sure you're registered on our heads up link and you'll see it first. Will, you and Mike have been busy men. I've seen you in and out of our offices editing videos as if you're the BBC.
Yeah.
What's going on? You must have something to tell us.
Seen us too many times, no doubt.
Once or twice. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I know, that's funny. Every time we're in, like you said, we don't. We just seem to distract you every single time. 100%.
It's an event. It's an event when Mike and Will join your office. I just leave that for the public to decide whether it's a good or a bad thing. But Will, what are we listing? What's secret? What can you give us the heads up on?
Right, so we have been busy today. We are working on something just over 1.4 million. Okay, this is this is actually a little bit further out. This is over in Eversley. It is about a half an acre plot, big 5-bedroom detached house, 2 en suites. Yeah, it's really nice. It's like, if anyone knows Eversley that well, sort of round about the St Neots area, it's pretty much nothing but woodland. So it's very quiet. Literally can't hear you could hear a pin drop. It's really nice. So yeah, we're working on that. We've got, and by the way, details will be ready of that probably towards the end of next week. So did some internal work today, but like somebody else said, the weather has been horrible. So back there next week to finish that off. Tomorrow we've got, thankfully, a 3-bedroom semi-detached coming on in Sandhurst, Owlsmore. So walking distance to Owlsmore Primary. Watch this space, that'll be coming on around about the 425 mark. So yeah, we've been busy. And then something else next week as well. Oh, here we go. So Mike Robinson's put a question in there. Can anyone see that?
No.
I think we all know the answer there, don't we?
It's almost like a survey.
Yeah. That's an easy one.
Who's the best estate agent? Will, is this Mike?
Yeah,
I can quite easily say it's Will. If it's between me and Will.
Not Will to answer. Okay, well, the answer is Will. Yeah. But overall, yeah, we're really busy, so it is all good for us. Lots of viewings going on as well at the moment, which again, gives a bit of confidence that the market is still okay. Whether or not things change after today's Bank of England base rate change, we'll see what happens. But like we all said, we don't see much happening, and people want to buy houses. So yeah, we're busy.
Good. Thomas.
We got a couple of investment. We got 2 1-bedroom flats potentially coming to the market. One will be coming up in the next 10 days. That'll be a good rental yield. The other one probably in about a month's time. He's just finishing the flooring on it. So landlords, if you're out there, we've got 200 1-bedroom flats, and it'll be over a 7% rental yield on one of them.
That was the big question I was about to ask. What is the target yield for an investor in Swindon?
Anything over 6.5%.
Comfortably beats Berkshire. You won't get 6.5% in Berkshire unless you're robbing someone, frankly.
Swindon has always been an investment paradise. And pre-COVID, you could get 8 or 9%.
So if you want to see 7, 8, and 9% yields, you should probably drop a DM to Thomas and send him a bottle of Volvic, and he'll let you know the answer to that story. If you buy a couple of houses from him, you can probably upgrade to Volvic. Steve, last but no means least, is any pearls of wisdom and new listings people can get their teeth into from the chat?
Yeah, I've got a 4-bed detached coming onto the market in the Gable Head area of Hayling Island. It's going to be coming on at 520. That should be coming by the end of this coming week. And I've got a more of a longer term one, but I saw a 3-bedroom semi-detached that hasn't been on the market for 30 years. Had work done when they first moved in, but hasn't really been touched since then. So in need of some work as well. So that's a good thing for people to get their teeth into if they're like DIY or an investor looking to get a rental, or even someone looking to do it up and make a little tough turn on it. So, that's hopefully coming up in the not too distant future, but watch this space.
Okay. Ladies and gents, you've had your half an hour of wisdom. What have we covered? We've covered interest rates are going up, but mortgage rates are coming down. I'll invite an economist next time I'm on to explain the difference between interest rates, swap rates, and why that happens. But the good thing is mortgage rates are getting cheaper, and no one cares what the Bank of England are doing in the synopsis of that. Now it's spring. Get in your garden, paint your fence, jet wash your patio, and pick up the poo. That's quite straightforward. In Swindon, if you own a 4-bedroom detached house, there are a lot of buyers for you. In Sandhurst, the number of houses that are on the market is up. So as a buyer, you now have more choice, and potentially, because you have more choice, you will be able to negotiate a slightly better price for yourself if it's the right house. And in Hayling Island, now the clock's going forwards, things are about to warm up. Potentially, you're about to get into more competition. So if you're thinking about buying for the summer, you need to act fast, because otherwise you'll be buying for next winter. You'll be buying for Christmas, but you might want to get in quick before the holiday makers come in and spend their out-of-town pounds.
The good thing is in Hayling, I spoke to a local solicitor today, and the average transaction for a straightforward is about 10 to 12 weeks still. So they're still able to turn it around in 3 months. So if you are looking to get in for the summer, it's not too late.
Act now.
Yeah.
Gents, sounds like lots of houses coming to the market. Will, I cannot wait to witness you editing a video on a £1.4 million house. It'll be the entertainment of the rest of my week.
Right.
I can't wait for the finished result and the blooper reel that goes along with it in the private group. Gents, thanks for your efforts tonight. If anyone is watching still and it isn't live, still feel free to drop a question in the messages or DM any of us about the topics that we've covered tonight. Until next week on Thursday at 6 o'clock, thanks for coming.
Cheerio.
Peace.